everything has went up. Rent, mortgages, you can barely afford to feed yourself these days. You have to work more than one job. I have 3 jobs. I work for People Ready, DoorDash, and Instacart. So, and I'm still struggling to feed myself. That's really not okay, and I think Biden needs to do better. He didn't come to any of his promises. Like, he didn't meet them at all, and I feel tricked. So
Marissa,
next time going forward, I'm gonna probably vote based on policy, not on party.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to talk about a little bit about Joe Biden, but it's Joe Biden, but it's most specifically the opinions of people and what's been going on here, and what people are thinking, and everything that's been going on. So I would like to see if I can get more interviews on kind of like what people think of Joe Biden and all that stuff, and kind of see what people around where I'm at kind of think of Joe Biden. So we may get something like that in order. As you can see from the video there, you can see that she's just stressed about Biden. She felt tricked. She felt embarrassed. And all stuff like that. And this is kind of the reason why I don't really like the media. The media has really lied to people and failed to give them the due diligence of actual truth. Now, I agree that, yes, I agree with the fact that that these people were lied to, but at the same time, I also have to take accountability that it is their fault. Same thing, I would take accountability if I voted for somebody and they end up being some piece of garbage. Yeah, I can say like, yeah, I was tricked, man, but this is my fault too because I voted for him. I should have seen it, and we got to take that in accountability as well. And she was tricked and all that, but again, it's just kind of like, what are you doing, man? But yeah, so. That's what that person thinks. Now, we'll move on to the next video, where it's specifically for what moms are saying.
Well, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I voted for Biden. I believed him when he said that kids would be back to normal and school would be fully reopened within the first 100 days. And here we are, a year and a half into his presidency, and in blue areas like where I live in New York City, kids are far from normal. There's no attempt to even try to restore normalcy for these kids.
Biden was the first person I ever actually voted for. The media portrayed Biden as someone who was going to fix this country, and honestly, from my perspective, my personal experience, he's made it a whole lot worse for people like me who voted for him. So I feel not only embarrassed, but I just feel very manipulated by the media, like social media, portraying him as someone who is going to fix the country.
We were told by the DNC, by everybody else, he's going to be fine. He's going to push a progressive agenda. He's going to check all of the boxes that all of you are thinking about. And he's going to be one of the most progressive leaders in history. And none of that has come true, obviously. He has gone back on so many campaign promises. And as a lifelong Democrat, I do not regret voting for him. I just think that he's not going to be able to run again. There's just no way.
Now, you see that moms are even concerned, or some of the people, even from New York City, are some moms. So they're even feeling the pain, even from NYC, and they're not really agreeing with it either. I'm not really a huge the fan or a thing of the woman saying like, oh well, I don't blame Trump or whatever, or rather don't blame Trump, but I'm not gonna feel regret. I can understand like you don't want to have regrets in your life because having something looming over as regret is terrible, but I would probably have regret voting for this man specifically just because of that. But I try to do my best diligence to have regrets and kind of deal with what I chose. So yeah. Now we can specifically go to what's happening to just normal folk and what's going on around there. Take a look.
As president.
He can off. As far as I'm concerned.
I hate him.
Not feeling it.
No?
No.
He's an absolute idiot.
So, Donald Trump for president.
I'm not a fan of Sleepy Joe. I don't like how he's built inflation. Like, I'm not into it.
The whole country suffering from it, but I mean...
You like Trump or Biden?
Trump. I liked it when we had a good economy. and I felt safe. The borders were being.
Yep. These seems just like ordinary people too. By the way, we don't know what political aisle they're on. We don't know what they're exactly they're saying. Granted, I understand they could take clips out of context and just say what people were saying about Biden, and I'll try my best to not really do that. I'll try when I do the reporting and when people are talking about Biden and stuff like that. If I do end up doing it, I'll have a full video recording of specifically of just people saying the truth, saying what they actually want, no cuts or whatever. Granted, I'll have to edit a little bit, obviously, just because of the fact that it has to be edited to a point to where there's now a lot of fluff. Obviously, I want to do the interactions while they're having, random interactions or have a lot of dead space. So there has to be a little bit of editing there. But I won't edit it to where I'll even put in things where people even, enjoy Biden. So you kind of see what's been going on there. Now, let's jump to what's happening to, again, the black people. Let's take a look.
Now, what would you tell him?
Tell him to get out of office, man. He's shit up. He's old. He's falling off of bikes and shit. It's over, man. Give it up.
I tell him, let Trump back in office. He did better for the black culture.
Trump 20.
Joe Biden. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. You better vote for Donald Trump. That mother about money. Biden ain't give up nothing.
Who do you think is a better president, Biden or Trump?
Trump, all the way.
Trump?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because he's a good businessman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else do you like about him?
That's it. He's just good with business.
Trump all the way?
Yeah, Trump all the way.
Trump all the way, you heard it.
I need Trump back. Anybody else out there need Trump back? What's going on? We wasn't going through this shit for the last 4 years. We were winning. Winning. And now y'all sitting home being quiet and shit now. Somebody say something. Tell me why you support Joe Biden right now. Everybody had a lot to say when Trump was in the White House. Anybody got shit to say with this old ass bum in there? Thinking about the country, fit up the economy.
Donald Trump gives $250 million to fund HBCUs. Joe Biden takes it away, spends it on pipes for junkies. But Donald Trump was the issue.
Talk, brother. We gotta talk a lot of talk, because you was talking a lot of talk in your campaign, and you was telling people, especially black students, to vote for you because you were going to give us $45 billion allocated to our schooling. And once you got that position of power, you started showing your behind. You started embarrassing yourself. So now you are saying, okay, now that I secured my seat of power, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, see, now a lot of black people are not very pleased with what's going on either. As you obviously tell, I'm a black man. I do not appreciate or enjoy Joe Biden and what he's doing at all. I figured he was corrupt from even before being president, and this is kind of what we're getting now. I think if you're starting to realize that a lot of people just don't like this man, and the only people that do like this man are on the far left, usually, and they already have screwed loose to begin with. So, yeah. And another thing about Kamala Harris here, this person, which I'll put in the video here right now,
that support for this administration among black Americans has softened. How will you turn that around?
Well, first of all, black Americans, Americans in general, should be demanding, and rightly, that we pass legislation that addresses these issues that you have mentioned. I was an author of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. I believe very strongly that we should have accountability in all systems, including in policing.
But they're frustrated. Police reform is stalled.
I believe that we need, you're right. I mean, but again, this is there is a cycle, there is a connection between what we want to have happen and the power of Congress to actually make it happen when it comes to changing the laws. Black Americans and all Americans said, look at the United States Supreme Court. There has never in the history of that court been a black woman to serve. There now is. Because people stood in line in 2020 for hours, demanding that of the things that they would stand in line to see happen, there would be a Ketanji Brown Jackson on the United States, Ketanji Brown Jackson on the United States Supreme Court. They said, I want to see more support for some of our finest educational institutions that are called HBCUs.
Donald Trump gives $250 million to fund HBCUs. Joe Biden takes it away, spends it on pipes for junkies. But Donald Trump was the issue.
Is actively saying that it's like we have made great strides to have like a black president or a black person in the Senate or whatever. Okay. Listen, we have had a black president that was selected for about 2 terms for 8 years. He overwhelmingly voted for, right? So Biden won, okay? Or not Biden, but Obama won. All right? He won. Now that he was voted for twice for 2 years, we had a black president, and we have black senators. We've had black women in there. We had a whole bunch of people in here into the Senate. And when we do incorporate these people into our system or whatever, you guys will label them as sexist, far right, etc. The list goes on, right? Because I know this is how you people operate, and it's quite disgusting, honestly. But we have had people of color already, or black people, I would say, people of ethnicity, different ethnicities into our systems. So, I mean, it's all there. And by the way, Makija Brown, I low-key think is a pedo. So, yeah, I already know about that one. Well, guys, we're seeing the truth coming out, and people are really upset. Really, really upset. It's time to start voting differently, isn't it? Stop listening to the media. Hopefully they can get out of Daily Wire and all this other stuff, so they get more informed. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.